change that self-esteem and how to grow, how to grow self-esteem, but also how to grow prosperity.
Wow.
Prosperity is for everyone. It
Right.
doesn't just have to be for the wealthy. We all can learn to have prosperity, but we have to change our mindset about what prosperity means.
I love that. I told you a little bit about this exercise. I'm a health professor that I do in my class, and it's a little bit about personality. And what I do is I have my students talk to another student they don't know for about 5 minutes, and then I say, okay, everybody turn around, take out a piece of paper, and describe that person's personality in 3 short words or phrases. And I say, and keep it positive. And so my students are writing, and they're smiling, and they're happy. And I'll say, okay, now fold the paper in half. Give the person the paper that you just talked to. And I say, do not open the paper until I tell you to do so. And when you receive your paper, what you're going to do is write on the front of it and describe your personality in 3 short words or phrases, and again, keep it positive. And so I say, okay, go. And so they pass the notes, and when they get the notes, it's so funny because some of them can't have trouble writing about themselves. I mean, they just sit there, they're just stuck. I only give them like 40 seconds, and some of them, have trouble writing anything. And then I have them open it up and see if they match. But what I was really curious is, why can a person describe another's personality, a stranger, freely, and have trouble doing that about themselves when you say to keep it positive?
Well, I know this is going to sound simple as my answer, but I believe that it's lack of self-esteem.
Right.
Because, we've all been told to a certain extent, no one likes somebody that's a bragger, that is bragging about themselves to the point where they become obnoxious. And so, we've all been told, don't do those kinds of things. So when you ask them to talk about themselves, especially if they don't have a good, healthy self-esteem, they immediately start to say, well, what do I say about myself? I don't want to sound like I'm bragging about myself. I don't, and I know a lot of people that I've interviewed over the years that really don't believe that they have a lot of positive features about themselves. They don't have a lot of positive qualities. And, that lack of belief stymies them and doesn't allow them to immediately sit down and write that out for you.
Right, and it seems like we're our own worst critics as well, right?
Exactly. There's an old saying, and, there's too many old sayings that are just negative sayings. And, one of those old sayings that is, we're all our own worst critics. And that's a negative mindset that we have to get out of our head, that we shouldn't be our own worst critics. We should be our own best supporters and champions and saying, I am awesome and I'm going to go somewhere in life.
I love that. Now, you've talked about healthy mind, healthy body, and healthy wallet. Now, again, you also talked about the recession. Can you give us a little bit more information about how self-esteem and confidence can really put money in our wallets?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yay.
If you don't believe in yourself, then how are you going to go out and convince the world that they should believe in you and buy whatever it is you're selling? I mean, in my opinion, all of us are salespeople.
Oh, okay.
If I'm working at a bookstore stocking shelves, then as somebody is coming into that bookstore and looking at a book, if I'm really going to be successful in life, I need to engage that person that is looking at a book just down from the shelf that I'm stocking and say, you know what, I've looked at that book that you're looking at right now, and I think that's really a great book. And so the more self-confidence that you can have, the more engaging you can be with other human beings. And there's another more positive saying out there that the better you are at communication, the better you will be able to make money.
Well, that's exciting because that should be something that we can all do. I mean, it's not something we have to learn. It's just something we have to start incorporating into our lives. Now, Darrell, we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, I want to talk to you about a little bit more about how a healthy self-image can guarantee healthy relationships and a healthy sex life, okay?
Sounds good.
All right. We'll be right back after this. Here with Darrell Knoch, and we are talking about self-esteem, and we've been talking about how to improve your finances, your wallet, but we're going to take a little direction turn here now and talk about how self-image can guarantee a healthy relationship and sex life. And Darrell, welcome back.
Thank you.
My health class, I once had a marriage counselor come in and to talk to my class about what you need in order to be in a committed long-term relationship. And she asked them, she said, what do you think is the most important thing that you can bring to a marriage? And of course, my students were saying, money, a job, good looks. And she said no to all that. And she said the number one thing that you can bring into a marriage is a positive self-esteem. And so that goes right along with what you're saying. So how do you think it really helps with a relationship and your sex life?
Well, how do you feel good about another person truly down deep inside if you don't feel good about yourself? And so, if you don't feel good about yourself, and your partner doesn't feel good about themselves, then how do you draw that out to actually tell each other, hey, I really care about you. Most of us can say that some, but over the years, we've all heard people say, well, a lot of times men will say, well, I have a hard time saying I love you. I have a hard time saying, you really mean a lot to me. I want to show that person that that's the case, but I believe that the reason that somebody doesn't communicate that more and more often is because they don't have a good, healthy self-esteem themselves. Let's talk about the sex life aspect of it as well.
Okay.
If you don't feel good about yourself, then you may feel like that you're going to hesitate to want to have sex more often because you think to yourself, if I don't feel good about myself, then my partner probably doesn't feel that good about me either.
Okay.
If I don't feel good about my body, then my partner probably doesn't think my body is all that attractive either. And so if you start rolling that negative mindset of that you're not sure you really like yourself and that because of that, then your partner probably doesn't really like you either. That just builds up to being something that really stops you from having that great relationship or that great sex life. And so that's why we really, truly have to change that habit pattern. We have to start having a different type of self-talk. That's why we have to really start by saying the things that I've mentioned over and over again. I like myself, and hopefully I won't offend anybody, but you could say, I'm great in bed as part of your healthy sex life. You start talking positively to yourself, and you're going to be more excited about building that relationship or about having that sex life.
Well, that sounds like fun. Now, Darrell, in your book, I noticed that you talk about a gratitude coin. I thought that was very interesting. So what is it, and why do you use it, and where can we get one?
Well, about 7 years ago, I was driving down the road, and I came up with this idea. I wanted to teach myself how to be more grateful for the day because I always used to strive for when can I meet the next level of my success in life, and then when I got to that level, it was when can I meet the next level of success, and I thought, I'm going to put a coin together that I can have in my pocket every day that I'll touch that literally says gratitude coin, and on the other side it says, I'm grateful for. So every day as I'm putting my hand in my pocket, I pull that coin out and I touch that coin, and I remember to think, what am I grateful for today? And so as soon as I thought that myself, I need to put a coin like that together, then I also thought, I need to put a coin that I give out to anybody that I touch every day. Somebody that's done something nice for me. If I'm at a restaurant and somebody's had a great smile, I'll give them a gratitude coin and I say, you know, you really had a great smile today, and I appreciate how well you took care of me. And here's a gratitude coin to show my appreciation. And I believe that if you touch this coin every day, it will help you remember to be more grateful. It'll make you a happier person, and it will literally change your life. Because, in my opinion, happiness is built on a foundation of gratitude, and we need something to anchor ourselves every day to remind us to be more grateful. And so I love giving those coins out. I feel like I get more benefit out of those coins than the people I give them to, because people are always telling me stories as I see them later. Boy, you know, that really has changed my life. It really made a difference. It made my day. You know, I hear those kinds of stories all the time, and so I tell people that if you'll go out to my website, which is truewealthuniversity.com, you can click on a little button there, and we will send you a free gratitude coin in the mail.
That's awesome. So I was hoping that we would be able to get one other than meeting you personally. So that's an awesome giveaway. Well, good for you. Now, your website, you have other things there besides the coin and your book. Can you tell us a little bit more about your website?
Well, we are promoting a variety of things around the mindset of having a healthy self-esteem, and so, you know, a couple of things we have on the website is we have a little ring that it literally spins as you wear this ring, and it spins, and as you play with that ring, because a lot of people will do that, they'll kind of play with their ring as they're talking to people, and it says, I am grateful for, on that ring. So it does the same thing as the gratitude coin. You know, our whole vision for what we want to do at True Wealth University is we really want to help people learn to have a good, healthy mind, to really be happy in life, and to have that contentment that we all look for. So that's what we're doing, is we're really trying to promote that mindset.
And if somebody wants to book you for as a speaker, they can do that through your website as well?
Absolutely. All of our information is on the website. Our toll-free number is on the website. So that's a good place to go, truewealthuniversity.com, and that'll get you in touch with us.
All right, Darrell. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm sure you made everybody feel a lot better about themselves. And
well, I really hope that they take that opportunity to practice those things we talked about.
And best of luck to you and your new book. And when we come back, we're going to talk to Monica Bloom, an enthusiastic woman who is teaching Ayurveda. And we'll talk about what that is. We'll be right back.